Hi everyone, Moza is here. I'm sorry if I took a week to create this video because I'm in the middle of moving out to other city to start my residency, so it's kind of hard for me to create a new video. Anyway, in this video, I want to tell you about a cheat code that I applied when I was new in this community. This little cheat code is connected to the law of action. Have you ever heard of it? The law of action states that we must take action in our life to see changes happen. Every action that we take creates a result. I don't completely agree with this theory because it basically says that you cannot manifest if you don't take a real action, which I believe is not true. Because what's important is what we assume. Our assumption is the one that affects our manifestation. So before going any further, I will answer the question that you might have on your mind. Does manifestation requires us to take action? The answer is it depends on your assumption. If you assume that you need to take action to manifest, then it is. Otherwise, if you assume that you don't need to do anything and you can maintain your assumption without any doubt, then it is. Anyway, I know how it feels when you first find this community. Our mind might find it unfamiliar. Since we were a child, our surroundings always train us to think about the worst scenario and we need to prepare for it. They will call us delusional if we believe that our positive assumption will decide our reality. We are all used to that concept for years, so we might find that manifestation is strange and unbelievable. We want to believe it and we tried so hard to practice it, but in the end, we might think that it is too good to be true. Do you feel the same? So, here is the cheat code that worked for me back then. I took inspired action toward my desire. Personally, I love to use the law of action theory to strengthen my assumption. So I don't do the real action for the manifestation itself, but I do that to help me create a new assumptions which lead to manifest my desire. It's quite useful for me when I was new to this community because back then I didn't really know about all this manifestation stuff. And I'm a logical person, so my mind needed something real. So I did a real action to convince my own self back then. Okay, manifestation is so easy. When you can assume it and you can stick to that assumption, you will automatically manifest it. But sometimes the process of creating that new assumption is what's tricky from the start. I used to always assume that my skin was a mess back then, so it's kind of hard for me to suddenly change it to a new positive assumption. I also felt unsure about the manifestation, and I was scared if all this manifestation journey is only wasting my time. So, in order to help me getting out from my old assumption, I did a real action which helped me to strengthen my new assumption. And this tangible action doesn't have to be groundbreaking. It can be as simple as washing your face routinely, or wiping my makeup off, or even just listening to a subliminal. It's an action too. Whatever action you take, remember that the energy you bring to it will generate the energy that you will use to charge your positive thought and turn it into a real assumption. At first, we might only force ourselves to have a positive thought, but we aren't really assuming it. Because we don't do it naturally, we force ourselves to think positively in order to manifest. The real assumption isn't something like that. As long as you still consciously think of having your desire for the sake of manifest it, then it's not an assumption. Because if you really assume it, you won't force yourself to do it. You won't have a purpose to manifest it. Because if you really assume it, you naturally know that you already have it. Then why do you need to manifest it again? People always think that they already assume it, but why they still don't get the result? But the fact is, they haven't even reached to the end process of changing their positive affirmations into a real assumption. And the inspired action will help that process. When you infuse your positive talk or affirmation with the highly directed action, you will be able to consciously direct your talk to the assumption that you truly believe in. You will be able to detach from the obsession of wanting to get your desire because your mind truly assumes that you already have it. Many people think that detachment is passive, but it is actually the complete opposite. Detachment will unconsciously inspire you to do an active action when you are manifesting. The law of assumption does not require you to take action. However, it will inspire you to take action. The more you assume of having what you want, then the more you will be inspired to take action to enhance it. For example, when I first succeed assuming of having a clear skin and I truly manifest it, I don't know why I become more enthusiastic to do my skincare routine. Even though I know that I manifested it without doing something particular. Even though I know that I'm able to manifest it with just changing my assumption. Even though at first I have the desire of having clear skin without doing skincare routine. But strangely, after I truly able to manifest it, I'm just so happy with my clear skin and it somehow makes me want to take care of it. I know it might feel strange or maybe that just happened to me. By the way, you can tell whether an action is backed by inspiration or not by the way you feel. If you feel excited and optimistic to do it, then it means that the action is super inspired and you just do it because you know that you already get your desire and you are happy with it, so somehow it inspires you to do an action to keep enhancing it. Even though you know that you don't have to do anything to manifest it. I hope I explained it clear enough. And otherwise, if your action is not inspired, meaning you're doing it out of desperation and struggle, you will simply create more resistance against what you want. Okay, let me recap it. First, taking an action to manifest your desire is not a must. What you assume is what you get. It is as simple as that. Second, if you're new, you can take an inspired action as a cheat code to help you build your new assumption. And third, law of assumption doesn't require you to take action, but it will inspire you. Okay, that's all. I hope you can understand it well and see you.